Selling out is easy to do. It's not so hard to find a buyer for you. When money talks, you're under its spell. Ah, but what do you have when there's nothing left to sell? Selling out, I'd rather call it compromise, is easy to do. Sometimes you have to close your eyes. It's not so hard. Being rich is no disgrace. To find a buyer for you, put on your shoes and join the race. When money talks, it has a very soothing voice. You're under its spell. It's up to you to make the choice. Ah, but what do you have when there's nothing left to sell? Break the rules. People who try are fools. When you get older, maybe then you will see. I've always found ideals don't take the place of meals. That's how it is and how it will always be. It's so nice to have integrity. I'll tell you why. If you really have integrity, it means your price is very high. So remember when you start to preach and moralize that we all are in the game, and brother, its name is compromise. It's so nice to have integrity. I'll tell you why. It's not to have integrity. So remember when you start to preach, you're under its spell. That we all are in the game, and brother, it's not we love to
There's a reason I don't even bother watching movies before the Superhero Rewind anymore. Even as a blind commentary, I can hardly stand sitting through these things now. But this... God, it was what? 20 years since DC last attempted a Death of Superman adaptation? They just couldn't leave well enough alone? Some 90-year-old bastard must still be at Warner Brothers, wanting to make up for past mistakes and finally resurrect Superman Lives. Did that poor, witless executive think it was a mistake all those years ago not to put Nicolas Cage in the black Superman tights? Or was he just trying to appeal to us old fans who were still fascinated by that abandoned movie, desperate to find some residue of name recognition and nostalgia that might still sell tickets to theaters that have all but closed in a genre that is all but dead? Correction. It is dead. And here I am still reviewing its rotting, festering corpse. And nobody wants to make these movies anymore. Hardly anyone wants to see them. Like in The Flash, the only other time this version of Superman made it to the big screen. None of them even have actors in them. Every performance in, what was this nonsense called again? Oh yeah, Superman Still Lives. Everyone is a creepy CG abomination. Yeah, you remember that out-of-place Nightfall sequence where Azrael Batman shows up at Superman's funeral just to maximize 90s fan service? Jean-Paul Uncanny Valley?
I don't know, I kind of liked it.
No, you didn't.
I did too. I mean, look at this. How can you not like a movie where Lobo has a love affair with Martha after Jonathan Kent dies? It's a 4 out of 4 movie. It's a golden age of comic book films that we're in.
Shut up, Austin. I'm done. And to hell with the whole thing. Comics, superheroes, all of it. I'd rather review obituaries of people I've never met. I'd rather do commentaries on public access town hall meetings. The whole genre has had one foot in the grave since even before Disney bought Warner Brothers and the MCU rebooted into the amalgam cinematic universe, starting with nobody's favorite crossover, Tom Hardy's Venom versus Tom Hardy's Bane. Since before the Green Lantern shared universe without any Green Lanterns in it, since before James Gunn got canceled again and went to Universal to make the Dark Universe the most successful shared universe of all time, and even before Michael Giacchino became president of Marvel, since before this crap was all written by Reddit and ChatGPT, since before more people owned holographic projectors than 4K projectors.
That is all true, and yet this movie's just wonderful. I mean, did you miss the part where CG Nick Cage fought CG Terrence Stamp? Or when CG Nick Cage fought with kid CG Nick Cage against other CG Nick Cage with a robot face? You really just can't have too many CG Nick Cages is what I'm getting at. How can you be so outraged, Cap?
This movie sucks!
In the best possible way.
It makes Superman 4 look like the Superman 2 Donner cut. I mean, what's stupider, the magic kiss or Tony Stark spinning the world backwards as a callback to the original 78 film in order to save Superman before he dies? Nothing in the movie even happens by the end. And now that we've merged the universes, of course our Marvel representative has to save our DC representative so that Disney can assert its dominance over the universe once again. There have been 7 Superman movies since the old James Gunn reboot. Somehow, we still haven't had a live-action villain from the Rogues Gallery besides Lex, Zod, some Superman clones, and Doomsday, who once again is also Zod.
But it's creepy CG Terrence Stamp, so the best Zod?
DC should change its name to CB. Creative Bankruptcy.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
I mean it. Superhero movies shouldn't be made anymore. And I shouldn't review them anymore. They're not for me. They're not for anyone. They're a last-ditch cash grab from elderly men still clinging to their childhoods. Like me. I want it to be 2008 again. Hell, I want it to be 1996 again. The past is a safe haven that's forever out of reach. It's a paradox. I can live in the past, but I can never go back there. I can watch Batman Forever, I can watch The Dark Knight, but the world is never again going to be what it was when those movies came out.
Okay, but on the plus side, I mean, people are still showing up, and they help you make a living. So, maybe just go with it. Might as well profit from the train wreck. That's my motto.
This crap exists because of the few of us that won't let it go. Because we think we still need superheroes. Kids these days don't need superheroes. They have whole holographic fantasy worlds they can escape into for days and ignore their real problems. It's only even our generation that still uses YouTube, or even archaically types words on a keyboard. But we're doing the same thing they are. Except instead of escaping sideways, we're escaping backwards.
Cap, it's just a movie. And besides, it's awesome.
I said I would review every superhero movie ever made. If I had never talked about this death of Superman movie, I wouldn't have wasted the last 3.5 decades of my life or yours. We need to stop trying to resurrect the dead. Things end for a reason.
Congratulations on what I'm sure will be your first million-view video.
Zero out of 4. Brandon, it's been a long time.
A long time, Cap? It's been 10 years, at least.
I've been busy.
But you're not anymore. I saw the channel. You deleted everything.
Everything.
Spawn Year, the comic shop documentary, the commentaries.
What part of everything don't you understand, dude?
I just don't get it, man. The channel was your life's work.
Nah, it was a prison I indoctrinated myself into. I escaped it, and then I nuked the prison.
I didn't know you felt that way.
I have for a long time. Man, I can't watch this stuff anymore. Do you know what they're coming out with next week? Aunt Harriet. Yeah, Aunt Harriet.
Who's Aunt Harriet?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, nobody's gonna watch that. First, Alfred, yeah, Batman's butler,
Yeah.
he gets his own TV show. And then the Batmobile gets its own cartoon show for kids. And then they do that hard R 60s Batman remake, which Gotham basically was already anyway. And who is any of this for anymore? And now, Aunt Harriet. Land fucking sakes.
Well, I didn't get any of that, but I get the burnout. You've done this for most of your life now.
Yeah, and the whole thing was a waste of time.
Cap, where is Sarah?
She left me. Right after the last of the kids moved out. It's been just me here reviewing for the last couple of years now. The house was paid off, my office was here, so she was nice enough to leave me the house, and she had her own place over on the Missouri side.
Well, look, I don't want to speak out of turn, but don't you think maybe that's what you're really angry about?
I can't blame her. It got to the point where I hated absolutely everything I was seeing. And I loathed my audience even more for enjoying it, or at least pretending to. They paid my bills and I hated them for it. I wanted to do anything else, but I couldn't. I made that stupid vow.
Every superhero movie ever made.
Exactly.
But you never completed it.
It can't be done. Didn't matter the format, scripted, unscripted, commentary, blind commentary. Did you know that by the end of it, I wasn't even watching the movies before I reviewed them? It just was never going to happen, short of picking up a DVD box and nodding or shaking my head. I had to become impossible to live with before I realized that. But now I do.
Well, don't you think that was a little unrealistic, even from the beginning?
Yes, I do. That's why you're here. Brandon, I need your help.
Well, Cap, you know I'll do anything for you.
I need a time machine.
And anything except for that.
I know you have it. You, Dan Torrey, and Doomsvince developed it in a harebrained scheme to go back in time and stop me from going through Spawn Year. Because you thought reviewing 365 days of Spawn paraphernalia and then making a web series about it made me psychotic. You thought I'd do something crazy, like make a clone army of myself to review every piece of media known to man. Yeah, Doomsvince told me everything. Look, I can't be like this. I have to go back.
I'm not confirming or denying any of what you just said, but if that was true, it sounds like those worries were justified. Listen to yourself.
Well, if you thought I was so unhinged, why did you abandon the project?
Hey, I'm not saying there ever was a project.
Should we go talk to Doomsvince?
Fine, okay, yes, there is a time machine. Dan worked out the science, I designed it, and Doomsvince built it. But we decided that trying to preempt any crazy plan on your part would be equally as dangerous as anything you might actually try. Well, Dan and I decided that. If it hadn't been for Doomsvince's accident, he might have stolen the whole thing and done it himself.
It's weird that Doomsvince would be that adamant about erasing Spawn Year from history. That was his masterstroke, although he probably did drive me insane with that, I'm not gonna lie.
I just think he hated the idea of your opinion flooding the internet about everything there is.
You know, I wasn't actually going to make that clone army, by the way, even if that was the abandoned bad guy plot for Batman year. Why would I base a scheme on a Star Wars prequel that's just bad form?
Good point. I guess we were just a little bit paranoid after Spawn year. But it's a bitchin' time machine design. It's no DeLorean, but it's close.
And I can't wait to see it.
No. I'm not going to risk the entire space-time continuum and create a ton of butterfly effect just because you want to Janeway yourself to the life you think you want. It's irresponsible and it's wrong.
That's okay. Sounds like Doomsvince can tell me how to make one.
Wait. What exactly are you planning to do when you go back in time?
First, I'm going to convince myself never to start the YouTube channel. Then I'm going to have the career writing novels I always should have had. And finally, I'm going to eradicate this apocalyptic timeline from existence.
So what you're saying is, if I give you the time machine, you'll use it for the exact purpose it was originally built for. To go back in time and change the past so you don't do something insane in the present. Even though going back in time is the insane thing that you're about to do. In the present.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Cap, if you do this, the consequences could be disastrous. I mean, you didn't waste the last 35 years. What about Sarah? What about your kids?
They're gone. This is the only way to get them back.
What if you never meet Sarah? What if your kids are never born? I mean, think about it. If you don't conceive Jayson at the exact same time, under the exact same circumstances, he won't be Jayson. He could be a girl. He could be stillborn. He could look exactly the same, but be a different kid. And I mean, even if he seems like the same kid, he'll have a different soul. I mean, the odds of getting Jayson again, much less all 6 of your kids, it's astronomical. I'm begging you not to do this.
You know, I hate it when time travel movies forget about that. People at races.
I know you do.
I almost forgot it.
Yeah.
But I know I can do better, Brandon. Maybe I can wait until after all the kids are born and then shut the channel down. And then anytime after Spawn year, my sanity's toast. And the last of the kids was born 9 years after that.
Look, it doesn't matter anyway. The time machine has a defect that I was never able to fix. As far as I can tell, it opens a portal between just 2 points in time. Whatever time you use it in the present, and June 26th, 1996.
Why 1996?
Are you still going to go talk to Doomsvince if I don't give it to you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but yeah.
Then wait right here. I'm going out to my car.
You've got a time machine in your car?
Just go turn on your Nintendo 64.
I'm sorry, my what? I can't believe this game is nearly 50 years old. Man, I should stay in 1996 and never leave.
I can't believe that game still works. Nintendo hardware, right?
I mean, all the best stuff is made in Japan.
This is what makes time travel possible.
You mean to tell me you made a time machine out of an N64 expansion pack?
Theoretically. I mean, we never tested it. It may not work at all. I hope it doesn't.
Look, I know you don't want me to do this, man.
You're not the same Cap I remember at all.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of this plan. If it works, we can bring him back. Make his life finally mean something. And the world will be better for it. As far as my kids go, I'll just have to come up with something.
If you have to do this, I just hope you can stop yourself from becoming the person who does what you're about to do. The control will transport you back to 1996 after 88 seconds of gameplay.
88 seconds, naturally.
I'm a Back to the Future night. What do you want from me? Now, once the portal's open, the console will exist both here and in the same place in 1996 for as long as it's powered on. The rift will stay open. Once you're ready to come back, just pick up the controller and press start. You'll be transported back to this year, plus the number of days and hours you spent in 1996. 2, 1, You're going to appear here, in this room, in 1996.
Yeah?
Well, you don't live here in 1996. What if the owners are home? And how far do you have to go to find yourself?
I'm just in Lawrence. It's an hour away. Look, I can deal with anybody I find here, and I can get to Lawrence even if I have to go on foot. Man, I've been working out ever since I quit. I could go out and fight actual crime on the streets right now if I wanted to.
Why don't we just go to your mom's house in Lawrence and do it from there? Plug in the Nintendo 64 and...
She doesn't have it anymore. She retired, moved to Des Moines.
Oh. Good for her.
I don't know, I just feel like I'd rather break into a house in 1996 than try to break out of one in 2044. All that force field security we have these days.
Good point. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
"20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Almost had it.
You're still here. Nothing happened.
Almost had it.
I assume you know why the time machine didn't work.
Well, of course I do. I built it.
But I designed it.
And I built it. Did you really think I'd let you change the timeline unless I wanted it to happen? What have you stopped yourself from cloning Vincent? Creating me?
So you're telling me you had potential access to a working time machine this entire time, and you never went back to ruin my career?
What are you talking about? Spawn here worked perfectly. Look at you now! I'd never do what you're about to attempt. You're way more far gone than I have ever been. You want to manipulate the laws of nature. I just wanted to get revenge on my creator for trying to make me into something I wasn't. In the grand scheme, that makes me look mildly vindictive. And you, a bona fide supervillain. Congratulations! And now you're about to create yet another hell of your own making. Exciting.
I thought you guys bonded over making Spawn Year into a web series.
We sort of did. Hence the reason I never turned Geekvolution into a cooking channel. And why I'm a head in a jar and not buried in my own grave, filled with Spawn paraphernalia.
Which would be way too poetic not to do when and if you finally do kick the bucket.
Agreed.
Then why are you still reveling in Cap's misfortune?
Old habits die hard. It was kind of Cap to keep me alive, but we've never really gotten along. That's why I'm hidden behind gaudy game cabinets. We just understand each other. If he was a floating, disembodied head, I'd have him living behind barrels of finely aged wine.
I would expect nothing less.
Bygones have been bygones for decades now, and yet I'll never say no to an opportunity pressing up against the glass and staring me in the face. If Captain Logan is finally going to seal his own fate, either by saving or destroying his future, I insist on being in the front row with a bag of popcorn.
You can't eat popcorn.
It is a rhetorical bag of popcorn. I am, as you might expect, bored to tears. Rhetorical tears, mind you. I've never cried, and I don't intend to start now. Not even when I accidentally destroyed most of my body in an attempt to transfer my consciousness into an indestructible robot body and grant myself immortality.
And now where is your body?
It turned out to be quite destructible. At any rate, I will give you the key to the Time Machine 64 under one condition.
You want to come with me?
You are hiding your senility quite well, Captain Logan.
Okay, agreed. But before we finally do this, I just gotta know, whose idea was the N64?
Mad scientist Dan Torrey, ever the gamer. I, of course, am too enlightened to touch a, what is it called? Controller?
Yeah, not to mention bodiless.
And yet, I will live forever, and you will die regretting a life filled with pointless critiques of shallow, low-browed drivel. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, once again, no fingers to cross there, Zordon.
For the record, I wanted to build a cosmic GameCube, but it turns out it's a lot easier to build a cartridge-based time machine than a disc-based one.
Really? Surprising.
Do you want to go back in time and ruin your life? I mean, improve your life? Or not?
Alright, what do we have to do?
You must play the worst game on Nintendo 64, which I only know about because I researched it to torture you! Again, force of habit.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh no!
Oh, yes.
Oh no!
Oh, yes.
It's Superman 64.
Have fun flying through those rings!
What's the problem, Cap? You were just flying jet skis through rings.
Well, flying through rings in Superman 64 is like driving a jet ski through tuna salad, with the handlebars missing, and upside down.
You only have to play it for 88 seconds.
That's if we can even get our hands on a copy.
You don't already own one?
I own every superhero movie ever made, not video game. Do you have any idea how expensive some of these things got in the 2010s? Not to mention after COVID in 2020. I don't know what that game is worth now.
Luckily, my mind is plugged into the Wi-Fi at all times. I can look up anything faster than you can formulate a Google search, much less type one. Superman on the Nintendo 64, popularly referred to as Superman 64, is sold online for an average of $16,000. Ooh, there's one on eBay for just $14.50. What a bargain.
I don't have that kind of money lying around.
I might. I was a supervillain. I had many lucrative, if not less than legal enterprises. One of them may have had something to do with, let's say, laundry. Another something to do with, we'll call them shells. Still another, let's say, Robbing a bank.
Where is it?
The bank?
The money!
They keep it in banks! Like I would tell you, you'll just spend it on video games.
That's the idea. Thought you wanted to come with me to 1996.
I do, but we can get there without destroying my posh and nigh priceless piggy bank. Dan Torrey has a copy.
Why didn't you just lead with that?
I was enjoying the conversation. I'm a floating head living in a basement arcade. Do you know how long it's been since I've done anything? Smoke a cigar, film a cooking show, get laid. I'm not exactly in a hurry here.
It's ringing. Dan! It's been a long time. I've got a favor to ask.
Regrettably, Dan Torrey was killed 13 years ago in a suspicious and inconclusive fire. I was created to take his place in the event of his death.
Oh, that's right. Forgot all about that.
What did you do?
Doomsvince murdered Dan Torrey for his technology, who refused to give it up because of his mistake in cloning Vincent Haskins and creating Doomsvince in the first place.
Thank you, AI Dan.
And you forgot about that?
It's been a while. And floating in a jar for 13 years does things to a person. Especially when all there is to listen to is Smallville reruns and Captain Logan's incessant complaints about superhero movie reboots.
They've rebooted Hellboy 7 times. And they never make money! And that's not important right now!
You never checked on Dan in 13 years?
The world kind of fell away at some point.
Dan Torrey had not yet built a device to house his consciousness when he was violently killed by Doomsvince.
A little editorialized.
However, I do possess the sum total of his thoughts, feelings, and life experiences.
So you're Jor-El from Superman. Okay, I remembered something about a superhero movie. I fulfilled my reference quota for the year. Now, Dan, do you by chance possess a copy of Superman 64?
That depends on what you plan to use it for.
We want to use it to go back in...
We want to play it!
You want to play Superman on the Nintendo 64?
Correction. They want to play it. I have no fingers. I want to watch them play Superman on the Nintendo 64.
Why not just emulate it?
Well, I'm building a complete N64 collection. We're playing it on original hardware every time we get one.
How can you afford that? YouTube must have really taken off for you finally.
You know, not really. That's why donations are greatly appreciated. Especially since you're not actually Dan, and he is, dead.
Wow, something really happened to you, man.
Oh, really? Too soon?
Dan, I'm sorry about what happened. I'm sorry I didn't keep a tighter leash on Doomsvince. I'm sorry I got so wrapped up in my obsession with stupid video projects. But I need your copy of Superman 64. Now, more than ever.
Because you have to own a complete N64 collection?
Yes.
This wouldn't secretly have anything to do with a time machine that Dan Torrey invented?
No. What a bizarre coincidence.
It's suspicious that Doomsvince is there with you. The man who killed Dan Torrey and co-created the secret machine with Dan.
Another bizarre coincidence. You know, if I was writing a review of this story, I would call it shockingly contrived and unbelievable.
I'm choosing to trust you. Please don't make me regret it. I may be a digital facsimile of the man, but I have access to every device he ever invented. And take this as a warning, Captain Logan. If you trust Doomsvince, you are inviting whatever he most certainly is already planning to do to you. You should know that Dan missed you in those later years and wished you hadn't lost your love for stories and your joy for reviewing. He believed in you, and he believed in what Geekvolution stood for. He would have done anything for you. Good luck with the game, and may the Force be with you.
Does that computer program think Star Wars is real?
Cap, do you think the AI knows we're going to use the time machine?
It knows. It gave us the game because there's a chance we can change the timeline and save Dan. The stakes just got a lot higher.
A little too high for my taste. I think I'll stay here and study the backs of arcade machines.
I thought the worst thing I ever did was the way I treated you after I had you created. But it wasn't. It was saving your damned head. So if you don't want me to throw you into oncoming traffic on the highway, you're coming with me. You might come up with some way to go back later and try to stop me.
Why would I want to stop you? It was my idea to come with you in the first place.
You really just wanted to see if I'd fail so you could have another laugh at my expense?
I mean, that was at least some percentage of my motivation.
If this works, you'll cease to exist. Floating head or otherwise.
That would have summed up the rest of my motivation.
Brandon, I'm sorry for putting you through all this, but thanks, man.
Just save Dan. And yourself.
I'll do my level best.
And Doomsvince. Make sure Cap prevents you from ever being born, because if you make it back here, I'll make sure you go through Spawn Year over and over again like it's Groundhog Day. We still have the technology.
You people hold very long grudges. If only I could keep better track of the people I murdered. Can I at least have something to read?
No. I'm Captain Logan, and this is day 1 of Shut the Hell Up Year.
Hopefully, you're about to believe man can time travel.
Would have thought you'd say you're about to see some serious shit.
That seemed way too obvious.
Yep. Speaking of shit.
In short time, your fate will be sealed, Superman.
8 seconds.
Then there's no time to waste.
Wow.
Right?
I assume Cap can't play.
No one could play this. "20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Maybe the cat? Where's that light coming from? What the hell? It's impossible. It doesn't come out for 3 months.
Crap.
Comfortable?
Okay, look, I know this looks like an intrusion, but
You might not be afraid of giants, old man, but you should be afraid of me.
Not in the face! Not in the face!
Rules? Ain't no rules here.
Okay, just calm down! Batman! Okay, look, I'm sorry for the intrusion, okay?
You must be the most polite burglar in history. You break in at midnight and bring a Nintendo 64? You Santa Claus or a mental patient?
Wait, you know about the N64? Are you into video games?
I play with my kids.
Wow, raising them right. What kind of games do you have? Let's see, there's Star Fox, Cool Spot, Uniracers. That game is criminally underrated.
You
Pixar.
want to steal them?
No, I just haven't played these in a long time, man. What else? Zombies Ate My Neighbors is wonderful. 2 of the Donkey Kong countries. That's okay though, man. 3 is a giant step down. Man, don't play that.
What?
Oh yeah, that hasn't come out yet.
Man, you sound like a 12-year-old in a 60-year-old body.
You are not the first person who's told me that. Look, what's your name anyway?
James.
Really? It's my name too, although nobody's called me that in 20 years.
Wow, we have so much in common. I'm still planning on beating you until you stop leaving gifts in my house and admiring my shit.
Okay, I understand. I just have to grab something of mine first. Okay, and then I'll be out of here. Ugh, ow! Look, I gotta get just this little orange box.
Now for the face.
Shit! Crazy!
Thanks, mental patient Santa Claus. Goddamn Merry Christmas.
Are you quite finished trying to get us murdered? I did not achieve immortality just to be killed by Batman.
Yeah, we wouldn't want Dan Torrey's death to be for nothing, now would we?
Captain Logan, I can only apologize so many times.
You haven't apologized once.
That is true.
I'm going to Lawrence.
That will take all night.
Then I would suggest you stay quiet the whole way there, unless you want me to roll you down the highway.
I am obviously at your mercy. You're never going to forgive me for that murder I completely forgot I committed. So why not just kill me? Get it over with.
Because I want you to watch me create a future where you don't exist.
Even if you manage this, I did exist. I was there. It happened. Don't tell me it didn't happen.
And the universe will never know it. No channel, no you.
And your life will be boring and unremarkable. What are you without Geekvolution? Really?
I don't know. Let's find out.
what are you doing here?
Math tutor!
Okay, have fun.
Math tutor! I'm a math tutor.
Okay, well, great. He's in there, somewhere. And if you need anything, I've got pumpkin bread upstairs. I've got, lemonade, whatever you need. So it'll be just fine. I'm gonna go out to the garden. But he's waiting for you inside. Thank you.
That sounds great. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Bye.
Math tutor. Math tutor.
Look what they did to us. What we could have had. They had to
Hey, what's up?
But
Let me
Andy,
we need to
what
talk.
will vengeance solve?
Who's there?
TNG Season 7, Firstborn. Worf's son Alexander goes back in time to convince his younger self to become a warrior instead of a diplomat.
It's not very good.
Nah, 7 is pretty hit and miss. But that's exactly what's happening to you right now. You know how you've always wondered what the future might hold? Do you become rich and famous? Are there flying cars? Does California fall into the ocean? Today's your lucky day, kid.
You're an old guy who really knows his Star Trek.
I ran a Star Trek club for 15 years.
That's half the time Star Trek has even been around.
It is the 30th anniversary this year, isn't it?
You know my mom will call the cops as soon as she sees you.
No, she won't. She thinks I'm a math tutor. You've got to let me in. It's a matter of life and death. Wow, I look a lot more like Jayson than I realized.
Who?
You'll find out. I hope.
So you're me. From the future.
Yeah, but it's kind of inevitable we'd wind up in this situation, right?
You're not worried about changing the future?
I'm trying to change it.
Yeah, but how do you know you're not going to make it worse by telling me stuff?
I don't see how that's possible.
Oh my gosh, what happened? World War III? Zombies? Is there an alien invasion? Did robots enslave humanity? Is it more like a Terminator dystopia or a Planet of the Apes dystopia?
Nothing like that.
Oh no. It's Waterworld, isn't it?
It's not Waterworld. The problem is superhero movies.
They don't make superhero movies in the future? It's a bummer, but I mean, they hardly make them now.
Oh no, they make them. In fact, for a long time, it's about all they're making. At least all anybody's paying any attention to.
Okay, but at least superheroes get their time to shine, right? That's exciting.
I mean, it is. Until Hollywood decides it's a surefire cash cow, it becomes mainstream. And the genre stops innovating. The writers quit even reading the comics the movies are ostensibly based on, and the factory never shuts down. At least half a dozen a year, every year, and I have to review every single one of them.
Wait, that's your job?
Yeah. You know how a normal person gets up in the morning and goes downstairs and has breakfast and kisses someone goodbye and goes to a job and works for a guy and stands behind a counter or sits at a desk and maybe makes an omelet or a sandwich, maybe sells donuts, punches a clock, maybe takes care of babies, You know.
You watch superhero movies for a living.
On a video website called YouTube, where you can upload an unlimited amount of video content for free and amass an audience and make a living all by yourself.
And you don't even have to get on TV?
In the future, more people watch guys like me broadcasting out of their basement than regular television.
Wow. I can't get my mind around that. So superhero movies are popular. And you make money just talking about them?
Yes.
They finally made Spider-Man?
Yeah, and it's even been rebooted a few times.
Wait, what's a reboot?
Okay, you know how Michael Keaton's Batman and Adam West's Batman are not the same Batman?
Right.
They do that, but with everything.
Whoa. What about X-Men?
20-year franchise until it's finally rebooted. 3 Wolverine movies, 19 Deadpool movies, and one of those is a Wolverine movie. It's confusing.
Deadpool? Who cares about Deadpool?
After the memes, pretty much everybody.
What's a meme?
You know, a minute ago, you said whoa, just like Keanu Reeves? That's a meme.
Whoa.
Exactly. And get this, in 3 years, your favorite science fiction movie is going to come out. And you'll never believe this, but it stars Keanu Reeves.
No way.
Yes way!
What about Avengers? Do they get movies?
Several. Huge event films. Marvel has its own shared universe.
We're like, all those movie characters are in the same continuity?
Exactly.
Do Batman and Superman get a movie together?
We don't talk about that.
And I didn't think it got any better than Batman Forever. Whoa. I didn't believe you at first, but this is too ridiculous not to be true, right? Like, what 70-year-old man...
I'm 60.
And you look great. But what old guy shows up at your house and makes up that story? I don't want to be too gullible, though. Maybe I'm on that show, what is it? Candid Camera or something. So you have to do that thing that they do on TV to prove that we're the same person. You have to tell me something that only I would know.
Okay. In the future, we call that a trope. So, you know how when we were a kid and Batman had just come out, 89, we really hated drinking water? And our dad, every night, would try to get us to drink a glass, and we were really stubborn. We just hated doing it. So one night, he comes home with a Batman t-shirt for us, with the logo from the movie, and we are instantly Batman fans. And Dad says, Batman drinks water. Suddenly we are sucking down glass after glass, and he never has to tell us to do that again.
I've never told anyone that story.
That was a moment that defined my life, but it also put me down a path I should have never gone down.
But why? I mean, do I never get married?
No, you do.
Is she not pretty?
She's beautiful.
Oh no, she hates Star Trek, doesn't she?
She ran the club with me. Even taught everybody how to speak Klingon.
What? Okay, am I boring? Do I not do anything crazy? I get tattoos?
Yeah, this one is my wife's name, Sarah, in Kryptonian.
My wife's name is gonna be Sarah, like from Virtua Fighter? That's so cool.
Yeah, and also Jason, Freddy, Mikey, Selena, Cassandra, Autumn. Remember these names.
What's that one from?
Oh, that's my company logo from the YouTube channel. Geekvolution.
Okay. That'll have to change. But I mean, everything else sounds great.
You're not listening to me! If you make your life about superhero movies, it will ruin your life.
Okay, well, thanks for all the advice. I'll definitely give all of this a lot of thought. Goodbye. See you later. Really?
having fun?
What is this place?
It's a hell of my own making.
Could have fooled me. Wow. They made everything. Morbius? Like the living vampire?
That's basically a meme.
Whoa. The Dark Knight Rises? Oh, Bane is in a Batman movie?
And you will spend decades trying to understand how that movie turned out the way it did. But for you, Bane is in a movie next year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too excited about that either.
Oh. Venom? In his own movie?
Yeah, and without Spider-Man. And played by the same guy who plays Bane.
How does that work?
It doesn't. And don't even get me started on the crossover movie.
This is signed by Adam West.
Yep.
And this is signed by Kevin Conroy.
It sure is. Look, let's get started. You're currently jacked into a computer program. None of this is real. It's all in your mind. This place looks and feels and smells like the bunker circa 2023. I may not be real. This place may not be real. But those movies are very real. And you're going to be watching a lot of them. Just be glad I'm not going to make you review.
I freeze. I'm Batman.
Superman will never.
It's fantastic. Yes, it is.
Oh no.
Guys, I got it. Darren is dead! There is only Monarch!
Why are you glowing? What the hell is with that dust?
No.
Cool. You were my friend, and you betrayed me! Why did you say that name? Martha, why did you say that name?
Remember, positive energy will always win over negative energy.
Okay, I get it. Just turn it off already.
Standing up for what you believe.
Please, for the love of God. Turn it off. Turn it off already, please.
Dennis, I've told you for the last 5 minutes, go play Pogs with your sister and leave us alone.
Jay, you were asleep. Forever. And this old guy knows my name.
He's our uncle.
Uncle who?
It's whom. You're gonna be an English major.
Uncle Whom is a jerkface.
Yeah, he is. Hey, Dennis, don't worry about me here. I fell asleep watching Star Trek The Motion Picture. I'll be there in a few minutes.
Okay.
I told Mom I was a math tutor.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. I forgot. I felt like I was in that place for 3 days. Why would a store sell that thing to people?
There wasn't one. A friend of mine made it.
Your friend sucks.
He's part of the reason I'm here. He died. But he won't if you stay away from YouTube!
Oh.
I didn't even show you some of the more recent movies because you couldn't handle them. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to stop writing anything worthwhile. You're gonna get so obsessed with getting content out that you'll clone your best friend to help you, and that clone will torture you with Spawn comics for an entire year. You're going to give yourself cancer drinking too much Mountain Dew. Your wife will leave you. Your kids will hardly talk to you anymore. One of your best friends will die at the hands of that clone, and they're going to make a Death of Superman movie where Superman gets resurrected by Iron Man.
Iron Man? Who cares about Iron Man?
Most everybody by 2008, but that's not important right now.
But I'm not you. There must be good superhero movies you didn't show me. It still sounds like an amazing job, like a dream. Why can't I just do it better than you did? Now that I know what your mistakes were.
Because we're both the same person. If you start on this, you will not be able to stop. I never could. The future is pretty bleak. Most people barely make ends meet to survive, and they bury themselves in virtual reality to cope. Superheroes are still around, but nobody's inspired by them anymore. Don't make your life about that, man. It's not worth it.
Wow, more technology from the future. What does this thing do? Make a holodeck or something?
No, that's actually a peripheral for the N64 that comes out just a couple of years from now. But it's also what makes time travel possible.
Whoa.
Listen. Do what you truly want to do. You have to make a difference.
That's what Kirk said to Picard in Star Trek Generations.
Yeah, but now you'll have something that Kirk didn't have. A reset button. Just put that in an N64 and play Superman for 88 seconds.
88, of course, just like
Back to the Future, I know. And if you do that, you'll come back to the exact moment I did today, and you, or another you, can try again.
Wait, you're not going to the future?
It's all in your hands now. The last 20 years, all I've wanted is to live in the 90s again. Before Twitter, before TikTok, before Zack Snyder, before Alex Kurtzman, before streaming services, before digital comics, before physical media died, before DLC, and before anybody but a geek knew what a multiverse was. I'm gonna play Sega Saturn and drink Surge and watch Power Rangers Zeo and remember what it was like when I still liked Independence Day. I'm gonna see X-Men in the theater this time. I'm gonna see X2 25 more times in the theater, and I'm gonna hope I'm dead before X-Men 3 comes out.
Goals are important. Where are you gonna live?
I got $100. Just invest in Google and Amazon and I'm set.
Aren't you going to finally introduce me? Manners aren't quite dead yet. It's just 1996, you know. Good job! You almost certainly become something other than a pathetic YouTuber now. My money is on a pathetic janitor, or a pathetic ride operator at a theme park. Or maybe you'll become a criminal, and we'll have something in common. Finally.
Especially if I'm a pathetic one.
I walked right into that.
That's a talking head.
It is indeed. Greetings! I am Doomsvince, tiny Captain Logan.
Logan? Never thought of using my middle name for anything. And what are you a captain of?
Presumptuous, isn't he?
This is the clone I was telling you about. This is what you'll unleash on the world if you start the YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm so menacing. What is the helpless floating head in a jar going to do to us? Everyone, run for your lives! Be seeing you in the not too distant future.
Remember what I said. Making superheroes your living is only one of 100 dreams you have. Don't sell out. Make a difference.
Tonight, I shall party like it's 1999.
Reviewer's Journal, August 12th, 2024. It's my birthday. I didn't get a cake. Too much to do. I don't really have anyone to share it with anyway. I'm 39 and I'm starting to feel it. My knees are bad, I'm sore all over, all the time. But it doesn't matter. I can't rest until I take down the Jarhead. Until I can give kids their heroes back. I've been doing this for over a decade now. I don't know if I've made much of a difference. Comics are still largely banned. Superhero fiction is frowned upon in the culture. There are no superhero movies, or shows, or games. I guess Alan Moore had it right. Pirates are all the rage these days. Probably helped that Disney made a Pirates of the Caribbean shared universe and gets out 3 pirate movies a year in lieu of the Marvel movies Captain Logan showed me. But still, pirates? Seriously? I don't have a lot of resources. I get comics where I can, and I get them to trusted distributors who discreetly move them to the homes of parents who don't believe in the popular anti-superhero ideology. I use my influence online as the anonymous reviewer to speak out against the dogma and propaganda coming out of the White House and Hollywood and politically correct businesses trying too hard to prove they support the correct agenda, when anyone with eyes can see this is simply the work of political lobbying and corruption at the highest levels. The Jarhead has been using the vast wealth he's been amassing for almost 2 decades to create power and influence policy, to spearhead a second Wortham movement, seduction of the innocent on steroids. He's duped the whole country into blaming comics for high school dropouts, teenage pregnancies, gang violence, school shootings, even kids being bored at church, and music recitals. The witch hunt was so widespread by the time iPhones and tablets caught on that people are hardly noticing the damage social media is doing to children. And Jarhead did it just as the comics industry was burning and Marvel was declaring bankruptcy already, after several years of bad publishing strategy based on an out-of-control speculation market. It was as if he knew just when that was going to happen, and his crime syndicate profits from the very thing he's managed to turn into the next prohibition. Jarhead is responsible for the entire nationwide black market of superhero comics, except those my network gives away. you can only imagine the high prices he values them at. Tonight, my monthly briefing with Diamond. Things feel tighter than ever. Comics are scarcer, the Jarhead conspiracy is farther reaching, and that's got would-be activists either too scared to join us or too greedy not to go with the comics kingpin. I rely on Diamond for keeping our distribution pipeline fluid. I just hope the man in the hat has good news.
Ah, reviewer.
Random murderous ninja. Obvious, predictable, unoriginal. Derivative, unintimidating, unnecessarily loud. Slow, bad aim, and just impractical. I mean, why throw a knife when you could just pull a gun?
For the love of God, stop reviewing us!
How did you know about my contact here?
You need to learn to vet your suppliers. One of your new comic fences has been following you for us.
So Jarhead sent you to kill Diamond?
He broke the law, and it was either that or rot in a prison cell. I see it as a mercy killing.
I'll show you mercy killing.
Look, man, this is real life, and you ain't the Batman. You've never killed anyone. I'm not scared of you.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Right, look, man, I just do what the big guy tells me. Why do you guys care about this stuff so much anyway? I mean, so some kids won't get to read the Green Lantern comic books. You know, who cares? And why? You have to dress up as superheroes.
This coming from the actual real-life ninja.
Hey, I used to run a dojo. But this pays better, so, I do this. Plus, I don't have to deal with those whiny brats all day.
Jarhead is obviously done playing games. He hoped you'd get lucky and take us both out. Well, I'm done playing too. Catch. I said I'm not playing. I should kill one of you guys to send a message to Jarhead. But I'll let you do that. verbally. Tell him if I'm that much of a threat, he can come after me himself. And tell him he should have never made this personal. Oh.
I don't know how they found me.
It's my fault. Doomsvince has been following me. Dude, we gotta get you to the hospital.
No point. I'm probably bleeding internally.
I have no idea how long I've even been lying here. It kind of feels like just conveniently holding on long enough to be your voice of reason right before I die.
No, Diamond, we've been through this.
But what we're doing isn't working. You have to use the nuclear option.
I'm just saying that because you're bleeding to death.
I've been saying it. It's only a matter of time before he gets to you.
But we're making a difference. He wouldn't have done this if we weren't. We're making the argument for comics, for superheroes, by being superheroes.
One kid and one set of parents at a time. But he's turned the culture against us. It'll take a generation or more now to get rid of the taboo. And the corruption. The cartel.
If he can do this, what else can he convince the public of? What's the next liberty he goes after?
I know why you're doing this. You dream of reviewing superhero media for a living. But this conspiracy, it just proves how broken the system is. You have to stop him before he gets into the inner workings of government policy.
But time travel isn't the answer. I made things worse once before. I won't risk ruining history.
You've already ruined history. Well, old man Captain Logan did. This isn't the same thing as turning the world backwards just because someone you care about dies. It's not a deus ex machina. It's power and responsibility. Even if it was a future version of you, you brought the almanac back to Biff Tannen, and you created this bizarre dystopia.
But who's to say which timeline is the right one? That future where superhero movies take over Hollywood? It's one of a billion possible scenarios. Never happened for us. If I go back in time, I'm not repairing our timeline. I'm creating a brand new one. How is that fair to all the people whose lives I'd be disrupting in this timeline?
What about all the people whose lives were altered the first time around? This is clearly the wrong version of events. Because you know what I can be positive we didn't have the first time around?
Doomsvince.
I don't know what my future holds in the other timeline. Maybe I live another 40 years. Maybe I died before tonight. All I know is, no matter how much progress you make in taking down Doomsvince and legalizing comics, you can't repair the damage that's already been done. Unless you repair that original cosmic injustice. He should never have been here in the first place.
Even if I wanted to, where am I going to get a Nintendo 64? The cartel has destroyed thousands of them. Collectors and gamers are guarding the few that are left like priceless heirlooms.
I know a guy.
This is why we do katas. Dummies. I want a fucking costume. And maybe get him before he stabs me in the leg.
Sorry, Sensei.
God, you guys are dicks.
Diamond, is dead. There's going to be a lot less comic book distribution now, but if I'm successful, comics won't need their own underground railroad to flow freely throughout the country again. He was right. I've been clinging to this life, as difficult as it is, when I should have been trying to undo what future me did all those years ago. Why have I fought this crusade for so long? Is it because I'm really afraid of making an even more hellish world than the one Doomsvince has wrought? Or is it because, deep down, I like the fight? Who do I really want to be? A reviewer? Or the reviewer? Is it you? After all these years?
Yeah, it's me.
How did you find me?
A mutual friend. Something's happened.
It's about Doomsvince, isn't it?
Isn't it always?
And therefore, it is always about me. Come in. I don't use this part of the house. I live in the bunker. Door to your left.
The whole point of my coming back through time was to stop you from throwing your life away on superheroes.
That is a little like the Crusader calling the vigilante cape, though, isn't it? For a guy who regretted making his life about reviewing superhero movies, you certainly haven't strayed away from the subject.
I don't have to explain myself to you.
No, but you do have to take responsibility for the world you made. Nothing's changed here. It's like we're back in that virtual reality you showed me. How is that even possible? Half the stuff can't exist in this timeline. And some of it's from the future.
Hard light hologram technology. We had an app for that in the future.
So none of this is real?
Some of it is. What I could get in the wild before the DMV got involved in politics. The rest of it is holographic, but functions just like it did in the real world. You can touch these things, watch them, play them. It's not perfect, but it's close. I had all the data I needed from the simulation I created for the Spawn Year device.
So now you're living in a shrine to a future you destroyed.
I guess I am.
Why not just live in the Spawn Year device?
Time, as you'll recall, moves slower there. And the last thing I need is more time. You should know, I've been helping you. Discreetly. Anonymously.
Appreciate it. You're one of Diamond's other suppliers.
And I've been writing against these ridiculous laws and artificial social stigmas online. My blog blew up a couple of years ago. I have 5 times the followers I did on Geekvolution.
I still hate that name. Wait, you're not Siler.
That's me.
That name is completely over my head.
It's from a superhero property that never existed in this timeline. One of the many casualties of Wortham 2.0. It was called Heroes. Siler is a psychopath that murders superpowered people and steals their powers. He nearly creates an apocalyptic future that the titular heroes know about and are trying to prevent.
Subtle. You've cast yourself as the villain.
Doomsvince is the product of my hubris and self-absorption. I don't know if I'm a villain, but I was never a hero.
If you're so guilt-ridden, why didn't you seek me out? You knew I had the expansion pack, and you knew I was working with Diamond. You like this world, don't you? As much as you hate yourself for your part in it, You don't want it to change. You helped me get some comics to a few kids, but there are no new superhero movies. And that's really what you wanted all along. Even though you're still living in the hell of your own making, you don't really want to bring that world back. What, you're punishing yourself? Does that make you feel better? You're still watching those horrible movies you're glad will never be made now? As your penance?
You don't know me. I am you. You stopped being me in 1996. You have no idea what I've been through. You haven't watched your culture degenerate into mass-produced dreck in front of your eyes. You haven't given the same sermon about contrived, formulaic, unimaginative nonsense 1,000 times to a shrinking audience that's tired of your increasingly negative attitude. You haven't spent a year reviewing Todd McFarlane comics. You're no reviewer. What have you ever reviewed?
And what are you a captain of? Certainly not your own destiny, you coward. You couldn't stand the way the world was, so you decided to literally live in the past. And even when it changed, even when freedom of expression was quelched, and your arch nemesis got the world he always wanted, you accomplished your mission, so you just left the future to rot. Maybe the content got rough where you came from, but at least those giant soulless corporations were allowed to make the mass-produced dreck.
How dare you?
How dare you? I've been fighting for years for my right to do the thing you got tired of and took for granted. I haven't reviewed anything. Your stupid arch nemesis stole that away from me. And I have reviewed something now. I just reviewed you. And if I had to give you a rating, you get a 0.5 out of 4. You get half a point for graciously giving some kids pittance out of your massive vault of comics. Congratulations. Go ahead, pat yourself on the back. You alright?
Yeah, I'll be alright. No, I won't.
When you came to me in my room that day, you did everything you could to discourage me from going down the path you did. But you failed. You inspired me. That's why I called myself the reviewer. It's one of the reasons I started this revolution.
I'd start a revolution if I could get up in the morning.
What?
Nothing. It's from another superhero show that doesn't exist. A lot of my favorite things don't exist, actually.
You want to do something about that?
You know what the sad thing is? Doomsvince has a point. Movies have become smarter, more character-focused, subtler. They take more risks than they did in my future. There are a variety of genres that make it to the theater now. The romantic comedy never died. There are true psychological thrillers. Hell, somehow the music is better than it was in my world.
But people aren't allowed to make what they want, good or bad. That's a risk a culture has to make. Doomsvince, or someone else, is going to keep chipping away at civil liberties till this country is unrecognizable.
Power and responsibility.
It all goes back to that. You have a responsibility to the world, but you also have one to your own children. I never met Sarah.
I don't remember all the names you mentioned. You had way too many kids, but none of them exist in this world.
Are you ready to fly through rings?
This looks like a job for Superman on the Nintendo 64.
Captain Logan.
Should have known it wouldn't be that easy.
I'll distract him. Just get the portal open.
It's quite rude to leave your guest waiting at the front door. Plus, there are bugs out here.
If this works, it won't matter what happens to me. None of this will have even happened.
Right. Look, Captain, you made some mistakes. Kind of crazy mistakes, but you need to know you led a pretty awesome life before you stopped appreciating it.
I know. Don't make the same mistake I did. But if you decide to become a real reviewer, do it because you want to. And remember, no one ever said you had to do this forever.
I'll tell the 12-year-old.
Right! He's gonna have the do-over, not you!
It's easy to lose track of everything with all this time travel.
If you keep me waiting any longer, I'm just going to send anthrax in. Yes, I have anthrax in my car. I'll use it. Don't think I won't.
Doomsvince. Nice of you to drop in. It's been what? 27 years?
You are stalling, and I am now breaking and entering. I am knocking down this door with my impossibly strong robotic arms, and I am now crossing the threshold in my unspeakably expensive loafers, which adorn my inhuman robotic size 13 feet, and I am now coming to break every bone in your body and the other human's body, and probably trash your entire house just because I can. Maybe next time you'll stop breaking the law, asshole, and let me rule the country through my all-powerful comic smuggling goddamn. That's what a real friend would do.
Hey, me, it's not working.
Turn it off first! Did you ever test this game after you bought it?
Why would I ever play that?
I don't know. Maybe someday you needed to activate a time machine while a crime lord was coming to kill you. Just a little vinegar and a Q-tip, 3 minutes at most.
Batman covered his tracks pretty well over the years. I only recently managed to catch up with you. But you, Captain Logan, I've known where you were for years.
Why do you have a holographic one?
It's like emulation. It doesn't cost anything. Might as well download the entire library.
For the love of Zod, just go get the real one!
Okay!
Did you really think I wouldn't look here? You bought the exact same house! It's like trying to find Waldo in a picture without any other Waldos. You had to know I'd find you. Yet you couldn't help but speak out against me online. Internet critic to the bitter end. And it was obvious who Silo was, even without some fancy IP industries. No one uses the word ostensibly as often as you.
This is a controller, that's a remote.
And I was content to let you think you were making a
robot man coming to kill us.
In the grand scheme, your petty comic smuggling made little impact. The reviewer was the real problem. And who wants to fight two Captain Logans at once? But then, I find out through my bugs. Because I have your whole house wired for sound, naturally. Those 3 fateful words. N64 Expansion Pack. You know I've given you the world you wanted ever since the day you threw that computer monitor. A world without superhero movies. A world without superhero rewind. But now, here you are, conspiring to literally rewind the world. Again. And bring back the very hell you wanted to prevent. Make up your mind, Captain Logan.
Yes!
Captain Logan. I have missed you, truly. My creator, my father, my nemesis, my roommate for 30-something years.
I'm kind of in the middle of something here.
Superheroes are illegal. I could have you arrested. Know why I haven't killed you yet, Captain Logan? I could have. I could have sent ninjas. I could have thrown anthrax in through the window. I could have poisoned your DoorDash deliveries, and no one would ever know it was me. Because I'm an urban legend, with power and influence. But I never killed you because I owe you too much. You created me! Or at least, you commissioned Dantoria to create me. He's dead. Again, by the way. Couldn't have him using all of those neat inventions to stop me from ridding the world of 4-color rubbish. And I have you to thank, again, for making my dream a reality. Yes, I knew how to travel back in time, but I was a helpless head in a levitating cranial life support device. Which allowed me to fly, certainly. But where was I going to go? I would run out of power eventually, and then I'd be a homeless head, rolling around in the street trying to convince people I was an immortal genius destined to rule the world. Or at least make it cultured in highly illegal and unethical ways. But with knowledge of the future, creating an empire, and finding a Japanese technology company with state-of-the-art full-body prosthetics was relative child's play.
We had an understanding.
We tolerated each other. We had good times together. Yes, I chose not to take over your YouTube channel and replace it with Doomsvolution, as we had teased at the end of Spawn Year, because I was over you at that point, and I was exhausted. You think devoting 2 years of your life to Spawn was difficult? I don't even like comics. I had Todd McFarlane thrown into prison in this timeline just to prevent him from writing anything.
But when the opportunity presented itself,
I seized it, as any sensible, ambitious supervillain would. You can bring a bad guy to comics, Captain Logan, but you can't make him read. I am what I've always been. Just because it stopped being about you doesn't mean I don't still have hopes and dreams of my own.
If it's not about me, you don't need to keep torturing him. Why ruin his life?
I will admit, it has been fun watching a Captain Logan become the thing he came to hate in desperation to review the thing he came to hate! But I was simply being pragmatic. For once, I agree with you. The culture was eating itself alive. It wasn't just replete with thoughtless trash, it regurgitated that same thoughtless trash for decades! The people who both make and consume entertainment must be challenged, or culture degenerates into nothing but 30-second videos of people dancing. I'm working very hard to make that illegal as well, by the way. I don't just hate the art you love because I'm more intelligent and refined and have better taste than you do. I hate it because it paved over the art I love. Where is today's Hawthorne? Where is today's Pavarotti? Where is today's Mussolini? You hoped that in your minuscule way you might go back in time and make the world a better place, that somehow there would be fewer or better superhero movies in the future if you didn't review them. You overestimate your significance by a factor of 5 billion, but okay, I have done it for you. I have made that difference.
Through crime, through corruption, you want to create more free-thinking self-expression by manipulating people into letting you do their thinking for them? How do you think that'll work out? You've erased the superhero movies that were challenging, that did have a positive impact. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, The Winter Soldier, like a quarter of the X-Men films.
Oh, reality will live without mediocre crime films or 19 movies that preach equality for all races. Like a bald man in a wheelchair can do that better than the speeches of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Pick up a book, Captain Logan. One without pictures.
They matter to me, and they mattered to a lot of people. They inspired me to set goals, however lofty, to push myself, to try to achieve something, even when it was hard, and to learn from my mistakes, to correct them, which is exactly what I plan to do now.
You've lived a long life, Captain Logan. I never wanted to kill you, but perhaps it's time. No one wants to get too old. My empire will not be ruined over an illegal, unplayable video. You loathsome costumed child! I'm trying to create a world for adults again. Not this perpetual adolescence of nostalgia. For its own sake.
No, I don't want that either. But I do want the world to have the right to choose what it's going to be. And I don't want it ruled by a head in a jar with an ambiguous accent.
It doesn't matter. I destroyed your time machine. Shoot, looks like you picked up a gun.
I grabbed these early when I thought they might get scarce, just in case I changed my mind and decided to reset the timeline.
Well, that's great, but you didn't think to test the game when you bought it?
Just drop it. What the hell was that?
That, mon capitaine, was a silent alarm. My men will arrive soon. Neither of you will make it out of this bunker alive.
Stay right there, or I'll use your head for target practice. Captain, I'm gonna need you to take over here, so I can hook up that system and start flying through rings.
No. I'll finish what I started.
But Doomsvince can't stop us now. You don't have to do this.
Yes, I do. You said it yourself. This is all my doing. I need to make this right. Besides, you don't know how bad that wound is.
The Doomsayers are coming! The Doomsayers are coming! Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. There are no exits that way, Captain Logan.
Nintendo hardware is supposed to be more reliable than this!
No!
Hey boss, you down here?
Kill everything in the basement that isn't me!
Holy shit, it's the reviewer!
Unobservant, impulsive, stereotypically thuggish.
Oh, we're getting reviewed here!
There's too many of me!
Get him!
We're on the clock here, people! I'll do this myself. Stop flying through those cursed rings! Godspeed, Captain Logan.
Just in case.
Thanks. You know, you would have made a pretty good reviewer.
You wouldn't have made a bad superhero yourself. Go help the little guy make the right choice.
James! 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 James!
Now, who the hell is this?
I'm here to stop your intruder.
Dude, you're an intruder.
No, I'm a superhero.
And I'm G.I. Joe. What the hell are you talking about? You're a superhero. You're like 115 years old. And you're in superhero pajamas. Superhero pajamas don't make you a superhero, Grandpa.
Well, Star Wars pajamas don't make you... Okay, fair point.
Did you escape from a mental institution? Did you both come from the same one? Are you Santa Claus?
You wouldn't believe me in a million years if I told you where I came.
Because you're probably a schizophrenic nut who just escaped from a mental institution.
Look, all I know is you had an intruder in your den, and I'm after him. You've gotta help me.
Yeah, he went outside.
Thank you. Are you into karate?
I used to be.
Me too. Well, sorta. You mind if I borrow that bow staff?
Fine. If it'll get rid of you. But you gotta promise me not to come back here.
Don't worry, I won't. Not for a couple of decades, anyway. Ow. God, this must be how Patrick Stewart felt when he was filming Picard.
Weirdest ass night in history.
What are you without devolution? Really?
I don't know. Let's find out. Don't run. If you're here, that means don't run! Ugh. Ugh. I failed? I couldn't stop us from reviewing? It's who we are.
Captain Logan! Are you dead? Hello? 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 Captain? Hi! You've certainly aged a lot. In 5 minutes. What a convoluted way to commit suicide.
You're going to get me out of here.
Onset Alzheimer's happens to the best of us. I am ahead, Captain Logan, in case you've forgotten.
I know you can fly. If you don't help me, I'll kill you.
How do I know you won't kill me anyway? You killed yourself! Presumably to wipe out any changes you've already made in the timeline.
The way I see it, neither one of us has much of a choice right now.
How much do you weigh?
About 160, I think.
Hold on. I can guarantee this will be the most awkward thing either of us has ever done. Up and away, I believe is the phrase.
Get us to Lawrence, downtown.
Aye, aye, Captain. weigh a little more than 160.
Yeah, I know.
Well, this is where we must part ways, I'm afraid. It seems you've had a change of heart about changing the future, and I fully intend to take advantage of all my knowledge about the future. I will be rich. I will make the world cultured and refined again, and there will be no more comics and no more of those dreadful superhero films. You're welcome. My chance!
We're going to put the world back exactly the way it was.
But you hated that world!
I hated what I did to myself. We can't force the world to be the way we want it to be. We can only live in it on our own terms.
So you are going to kill me?
What choice do I have? Unless you were to help me.
To do what?
To write a screenplay.
Come again?
Whoa. Who are you supposed to be?
I'm Superman.
Are you now? Well, we're all big fans here. Hey guys, look! It's Superman! I didn't think you were supposed to age.
Well, I haven't gotten a lot of sun lately.
Seriously though, I haven't seen you around here before. Where are you from? Don't say Krypton.
I'm from the future.
Spun the world backwards to go back in time, huh?
Something like that.
You're a little late. You died like 3 years ago.
I mean, why would I want to stop that from happening? I came back to life, and it sold like 1 million copies.
I know, that was like the biggest thing that ever happened in comics.
Right?
Right. Like, can you even imagine what the world would be like without that story?
You know, I really can. Listen, I'm gonna be here writing for a while, if that's alright with you.
No problem, Superman. What would you like?
Mountain Dew.
We don't do that here. We do coffees, teas, that kind of thing.
Just give me something with caffeine. A lot of caffeine. Like coma-inducing amounts of caffeine.
That I can do. Anything else?
Oh, I need a pad of paper and a pen, if you could.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. I think I had that one.
We're going to write a screenplay here
We are.
And you will kill me if I don't help you. That's not great motivation to be creative.
You want motivation? I'll tell you a secret, Doomsvince. You're the reason I came back. That plan you started telling me about, creating a criminal empire devoted to wiping comics from the face of the earth, you tried it. And it was brilliant.
It was?
You nearly succeeded. So much so that I'd rather return the world to the way it was rather than let you get away with it. You nearly created a comic book world with yourself at the head as an unconquerable supervillain, while you ridded the world of comic books themselves. And you made me realize what I took for granted in reviewing them.
Whoa.
It's a better scheme than Spawn Year. It's your greatest achievement. Not gonna let you get away with it in this timeline, but all the work your counterpart did doesn't have to be for nothing.
I don't know. I still lose in the story. Again.
But don't you see, in your villainy, you show me the error of my ways. You're the real hero of this story. Okay, you probably shot and killed the 2024 version of me.
Ooh, I'll do it.
Here you go. You will be up all night after drinking that.
Perfect.
Oh my god, what is that?
I'll have a nice hot cup of Darjeeling. No sugar.
Is that like a puppet or something?
Nope.
Holy crap, it's true. What you said before. You're Superman.
Well,
and that's Brainiac, isn't it? You brought Brainiac into my shop.
I mean, yeah, but he's harmless as long as you bring him his tea.
Coming right up.
Why did you even order that? You don't eat or drink anything anymore.
Yes, but I think I miss ordering food as much as I miss consuming it.
Why?
Bossing people around is always wonderful, regardless of context.
Well, focus there, Brainiac. We've got a lot of work to do.
Hi, can I help you with something, sir?
You're certainly polite, young man.
My parents always told me to respect my elders.
That's good advice.
They also told me not to talk to strangers.
Well, usually I would agree, but I'm no stranger.
You look sort of familiar. Are we related?
We are. I can't tell you any more than that, though.
Why are you here, then? What is this?
That is a screenplay for a movie that you're going to make, but not for a long time.
You want me to grow up and make a movie you wrote when I'm what, in my 30s?
I do. It's based on a true story. I wasn't there for everything, but I'm pretty sure it's more or less what really happened. And when you read it, I am positive you'll want to make it.
Why can't I just read it now?
Because it would ruin your life. But it will save your life when you read it in 2023. I have to go now. I'm taking a risk just talking to you.
Hey, do I make anything? Besides this, I mean, anything that anyone ever reads or watches?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you that either. But just know, whatever you do make, it's worth it. For its own sake.
Hi, this is Dan Torrey, Marvel editor and current writer on The Amazing Spider-Man, and the co-creator of Spawn Year. Thanks to the movie Cap made and is about to review, I'm still alive, and I've had the opportunity to pursue my dream job. I've learned a couple of important lessons in my time as a former mad scientist firsthand. Lessons I only knew theoretically as a Spider-Man fan. First, it really is true that with great power comes great responsibility. Some cliches exist in literature for a reason. And second, making clones for your friends is never a good idea. You're watching the final episode of Superhero Rewind on Geekvolution. Thanks for watching all these years. And Cap, you may be done with this chapter of your life, but critique is in your blood. I hope you never truly stop reviewing.
I started this series in YouTube's infancy. This year marks the 35th anniversary of Superhero Rewind. The goal all along has been to review every single superhero movie ever made. Sure, I've changed structure and format and length and style over the years. The show has been scripted, unscripted, audio with a slideshow of movie stills, an audio-only podcast, all alone with a co-host, commentaries along with the film, blind commentaries without even watching the film first. Some movies have been covered numerous times in different formats, some only once. But finally, after today, I will have a retroactive review of every single American and English language superhero movie ever made to date. Mainstream, obscure, sleek, cheap, masterpiece, unwatchable crap, original movies, remakes, reboots, remakes of reboots, live action, animated, made entirely by AI. Hundreds of movies. Regardless of tears shed, fists clenched in anger, and brain cells lost, I'm caught up with absolutely everything the internet and our community knows exists. This is my legacy. It's an odd one, to be sure, but this is the life's work I've chosen to leave behind for posterity. There were times I wanted to quit. My Super Ex-Girlfriend, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Batman v Superman, the dark and gritty Tick movie, Silver Surfer 6, Boredom, Deadpool Saves the DC Universe, and who can forget M. Night Shyamalan's fourth installment in the Unbreakable franchise, Water. But I've left one more movie for the end, because reviewing it is bad form, self-serving, and there's no way to do it. I'm referring, of course, to Superhero Rewind, the movie. I've never reviewed my own work, and I vehemently disavow the practice. Your creative pieces should stand on their own. You shouldn't analyze the story or any other component, tell anyone else what it means, because that's not your job as a storyteller. The creator implies, the viewer infers. However, it is a superhero movie, and I would be remiss to not include it, self-indulgent or otherwise. I'm returning to the original format for this final episode for old time's sake, and because I won't have to worry about the video getting copyright flagged. I will make this as brief as possible, because I don't want to give my own work the Dark Knight or the Watchmen or the X-Men Days of Future Past treatment. It's not as good as any of those films anyway. But I'll do just enough to say I included it, and to wrap up this whole thing with an epilogue of sorts. No one will believe the genesis of this project, but I'll chronicle it here anyway. Everyone has always assumed I just made the whole story up, but I didn't. Or if it is all made up, another version of me, who absolutely must have come from the future, came up with it himself. In 1996, when I was 12 years old, a suspiciously familiar old man showed up in front of my house with a manila envelope and told me not to open it for almost 30 years. I filed it away, but it was always in the back of my mind, and I had to fight a constant curiosity to open it early. He warned I would ruin my life if I didn't wait until 2023 to read the script, and that I would most certainly want to make this film when I did. And when I finally did read the script, over a decade after making Spawn Year, having been driven nearly psychotic from that experience, my whole understanding of the world changed. Time travel was real. I had a possible version of my own bleak future laid out in front of me, and it was terrible. It made me out to be the most selfish, petty, ungrateful person I knew. Somehow worse even than when I created Doomsvince. And I was the villain of my own story. Whether anything in the screenplay really happened as it was presented, there were, after all, whole sections my 88-year-old counterpart couldn't have been there to witness. He knew everything about my history. History that, in 1996, when he handed it to me, hadn't happened yet. Geekvolution, Superhero Rewind, Spawn Year, Dan Torrey and his fantastic inventions, my wife, Sarah, all of my children. He knew every superhero movie that would come out over the next 50 years, by name, with specific plot points. He even knew about my tattoos. And he included a note about Dan Torrey, who he said Doomsvince would murder in an attempt to become immortal 9 years later. I told Dan about this, and he decided to give up his laboratory, stop his mad science projects, which had only ever really given Doomsvince the means to execute his devious schemes, and he moved to New York to break into the comic industry, an industry that I apparently had a hand in accidentally erasing in a previous timeline. I've now reviewed movies on this program based on books that Dan has written. They're pretty good, and I'm not just saying that because he agreed to do the introduction for this video. He even brought Peter Parker back for the first time in 14 years. Reading the script for this movie, I realized two things. First, I could not allow myself to become a bitter old man, regretting my professional life choices and allowing myself to become a slave to a project that would likely never end. But I also had the same experience I did with Spawn Year. The material was too crazy not to recreate as channel content. So at the risk of repeating the same meta twist from the end of that show, I decided the old man was right. I had to make this movie. And maybe this time, it would be a catharsis, an experience that would further help me to grow and find joy in my work again, instead of the personal hell making Spawn Year was. Or if I couldn't find that joy, maybe I could at least give myself the permission to quit that I apparently didn't give myself the first time around, until it was too late. And obviously, I chose to continue reviewing. All the way to the year I threw a monitor and decided that my own self-imposed unhappiness was a good enough reason to change history for the entire world, and accidentally unleashed Doomsvince on it, and get comics and superhero fiction banned nationwide. Oops. Despite how repetitive and horribly written the movies became, and no matter how many times I found myself making the same critiques against them, I could keep going, because I finally allowed myself an end point. I went a lot longer than most people probably would, but then there were still a lot of old movies I hadn't talked about yet. Thanks, DC direct-to-video animated movies. When I decided I could stop, I found I didn't want to for a long time. It was liberating. I realized the only person forcing me to do this was myself. I still wanted to be the reviewer. And wouldn't it be cool to have a complete collection of critiques of the entire library of superhero films through 2044? So what they keep being made? Not very often these days anyway. But I'm not going to do what Doomsvince did in the original timeline. I'm not going to make myself immortal so I can do this forever. The goal was unobtainable. So I came up with one that I could do. And now, I've almost done it. All that's left is to review the movie I made that got me to this place. It saved my life. And apparently the world, but is it any good? Well, speaking as objectively as humanly possible, and keeping in mind that I'm reviewing a script that I technically wrote, but that a different, older, likely near-death version of myself wrote, it works better as a personal catharsis, is objectively self-indulgent and more like a college film project than a movie meant for any sort of wider audience. But yes, it's good. Good enough. It's weird to end your movie with a long YouTube video, but other than that, the pacing is decent. Maybe takes too long to get off the ground, with an excess of exposition and inside jokes at the start. There's extraneous dialogue, especially from Doomsvince, and in that long bunker sequence in the third act. Is this even in 3 acts? And the initial setup with the time travel device that Dan and Doomsvince built together is shockingly contrived and unbelievable. It goes without saying, it looks like a home movie. I made it at home, and at my mom's home, and with a budget that comes out less than, I'm sure, whatever cash is in your wallet right now. The 5 of you that still carry paper money. It's entirely too ambitious for the resources we had available to us. But in my defense, again, I technically didn't write it, and I didn't feel comfortable changing anything in the script. I shot it just as it was delivered to me. With the possible exception of this review, I'll leave the date and authorship of this ambiguous. Performances. Everyone does a great job, especially for a lot of non-actors. Brandon had pages of dialogue and played himself quite authentically. Jayson was the spitting image of me at 12 years old, even though he was 14 when we shot it. I'm not an actor, and it's painfully obvious, but I think I'm a little better here than in the dramatic sections of Spawn Year. The problem is, I play several versions of myself, interacting with each other on screen at the same time, and it's up to me to carry the whole thing. Call me hard on myself, but I don't always deliver. It was a little hard to go back to because of that. Usually I'd say play to your strengths and hire a professional, but I don't think our audience would accept anyone else playing me even if the acting was better. There are also changes made from real events for the sake of story convenience. I didn't live in Lawrence with my mother when I was 12 years old. I lived in Arkansas then, with my father. And my mother didn't have that particular house until 1999, but she still had it when we filmed this movie, so it was convenient. There are posters and comics and action figures and period scenes that didn't exist yet in the year those scenes take place in. And were this a story made up from scratch, I would complain that the time travel MacGuffin should be superhero movie related rather than related to video games. How do you make the Nintendo 64 a huge plot point in the Superhero Rewind movie? And isn't the Superman 64 gag a bit derivative? Didn't the angry video game nerd make the flying through rings joke mainstream? But there's a quirkiness, a sense of heart, and a reverence for superhero movies, even while the movie satirizes and criticizes them, that makes up for a multitude of sins. It's fast casual food. It's for exclusively the person who picked the kind of rice, cheese, vegetables, and hot sauce on the Chipotle burrito, and anyone else who happens to share exactly that guy's tastes. Probably too much going on. It could be more streamlined. You'd never put it on a mainstream menu, but it has to be exactly what it is to be authentic to his palate and his spirit. Thematically, this is obviously a story all about
Cap, where are you? You were supposed to meet me for patrol 10 minutes ago.
Oh man, I completely lost track of time. Where are you?
On a roof, of course. I'm down at the corner of 5th and Lyons.
I'll suit up and get down there.
How's the review going?
Just putting the finishing touches on it.
Does the movie hold up? I haven't seen it in years.
It's not perfect. We were pretty young when we made it, but yeah, it does.
It's a really good reminder of why we do all of this.
I can't believe you're finally finished with Rewind.
All good things. Anyway, I'll be down there quick as the flash.
Which one? Barry Allen, Bart Allen, Wally West, Jay Garrick?
All right, you show off.
Oh, gotta go. I think I see a purse snatcher. Or at least a guy glittering with a cigarette. Don't forget your stick.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich?
I'll get drive-through.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. Sarah, why do we do the Batman for everything every single time?
Because it never gets old. It's crazy to think that your two biggest projects were actually biopics, even though nobody thinks they actually happened.
Makes the secret identity easier. Then, the relative obscurity of the channel. Especially these days.
So you're really done after this? With Rewind?
Well, I'm all caught up. Plus, I'd much rather focus on my other job.
I'll put this as delicately as I can, but you're not getting any younger.
If my body fails, I'll just have Dan Torrey make me a new one.
But it's what you've done since I've known you. In fact, I bet you you're Mustang. That if I pitch you a project, you won't be able to help yourself, but put it into production.
Challenge accepted.
How many Spawn comics do you think have been made since 2014?
You're out of your mind.
Uh-huh, and you're totally gonna do it.
Spawn year 2?
Yeah, and, you could always have Dan Torrey break Doomsvince out of that Spawn year device you trapped him in.
You want me to work with Doomsvince? Again? After he went back in time and outlawed comic books?
Allegedly.
He killed Dan Torrey!
You really can't hold somebody accountable for something that happened in an alternate reality.
He's the reviewer's arch nemesis!
Okay, I'll play Doomsvince.
This is insane!
And yet, you know you're totally gonna do it. And this time, you get to make it up from scratch. No more mind torture.
Oh, it'll be mind torture.
Oh, come on. No worse than a lot of those superhero movies.
I'll think about it. But whatever happens, no Doomsvince. I don't know what I did to deserve you.
Apparently, you went back in time and made sure you didn't suck and ruin our marriage.
Really glad I did that.
Sure you can't stick around here tonight?
I'd like to. Brandon's out there right now, and I've got to go to work.
We're cooking, we're cooking, we're cooking, we're cooking with the Doomsvinces.
Hello, and welcome to Cooking with the Doomsvinces. I am Doomsvince.
And I am Doomsella.
And today, we are going to be making fajitas. First, what you need is a knife. I prefer a large knife.
I prefer a smaller knife.
For the finer parts, you may smash it. You may beat it up. A good way to kill it. Some people say you should wash your chicken. Why? Lord knows. Get rid of the filth. Captain Logan has already been disposed of.
You want to make sure they are not too thick, or it will have a hard time cooking. But if you keep them too thin, it will be like paper.
Doomsvince is bored. The spices you will need. Smoked paprika, garlic, chili powder, powdered chilies, black pepper, salt, crushed red pepper, cumin, and of course, oregano. Not to be confused with the state.
Once the chicken is sliced, we set it aside and start to slice up vegetables. I, of course, will need a different knife because chicken-flavored vegetables are not very appetizing.
But if you cut it first, and then you cook them, and you're using the same skillet, what does it matter?
I don't add my vegetables until after the chicken has reached a slight degree of cookedness.
We're using the same cutting board!
Bell peppers. The green ones are fine, but the colorful ones are much better, and may leave the plate looking much more appetizing, I believe. We have peppers, we have onions. I knew I shouldn't have bought the discount onions. Rinse out the seeds and then cut them into tiny slivers, similar to the chicken.
And if you cut slowly, you might keep your digits. Logan's dead. Logan's dead. Vince is no longer quite as accurate since he is no longer hunting Captain Logan. Turn your skillet onto medium high. You want it to sear to keep the juices inside. You may also cook the chicken before you cut it into slivers. Cut the tops and the bottoms off of your onions.
Parts of the Doomsvince. Utensil.
You do not eat the brown exterior of your onions.
We are searing the chicken so that it will not kill you when we eat the fajitas. Once the chicken looks nice and is no longer pinkish, we're done cooking the chicken.
Perhaps we should have seasoned first. Oh well, moving on. Salt. Smoked paprika. Red pepper. If you are looking for exact measurements, stop whining and taste the spices yourself. Chili powder. Please pardon Doomsvince, for his eyes have become watery from the onions. And garlic, yeah.
Plenty of garlic unless you are a vampire.
Oregano.
And now we are ready for vegetables.
Doomsvince is not there where we keep utensils. He's busy destroying Captain Logan and all of his minions, and people who remind me of him, and people who used to deliver his newspaper to his parents. Captain Logan is dead. His children work in the mines. You want to cook the onions and the peppers until they have started to take on a new color. Brown for the onions and slight sear for the peppers. They will become softened as well. You may use whatever peppers you like. It is very common to use bell peppers. I like the color green, but evidently Sarah wants the 3 colored peppers that are not green. And I no longer care. Who keeps throwing his head? A larger skillet would have been preferable. Captain Logan's comic book collection was used for kindling to start the fires at the mine.
Doomsvince.
Yes.
The meal is complete.
Nearly. We cook it longer, then it becomes slightly more softened, and then it takes on more color.
If you like it less crunchy.
Precisely. I like to stand over the top of my minions. It makes them self-conscious while they work. Do you feel self-conscious yet?
I am never self-conscious.
Doomsvince needs to learn to be more menacing. I'm getting soft in my old age, so I've always thought it was peculiar to put rice and beans into tortillas themselves. That seems like a side dish. Why am I putting carbohydrates into my flat sandwich? Personally, I prefer guacamole. And salsa. You can also learn to make guacamole and salsa. It's very easy. If you have leftover guacamole, you did not eat enough guacamole. You're also welcome to use sour cream and cheese. However, due to the consistency of sour cream and guacamole being relatively similar, I do not see any reason to use both, unless you would like the contents of your fajitas to squeeze out to the other end of your tortilla.
Did you order the pizza?
Assuredly. We're poisoning our neighbors with fajitas.
Fajitas.
Please forget to like, share, and subscribe.